Boy, it smells wonderful. Got a beautiful sheen to it. Good morning. Welcome back to my kitchen. I'm up early. Gonna bake some pecan pumpkin bread today. But first, I've not even fixed my coffee. I thought I'd bring you along and show you how I fix my coffee. It's pretty simple. It's with a coffee pot I've had since the 60s or 70s. I can't remember. I've had it so long I can't remember. And it's a percolator. So there it is right there. I've already got my water in it. It's filled to about here. I don't know if any of y'all use percolators anymore or not. I'll take my basket that I just washed out. I take a filter because coffee nowadays is really not designed for percolators. I guess you could find it, but it gets some old maids through. So I fold this to find the center. You see how I've done that. Oh, let me turn my fire on here. Let me turn the burner on. So I fold it to find the center. And I just tear the center off of it. You see that? The tip's gone. The reason I do that is because this basket was not made for filters, but it works just fine. I push mine down in there. I've got some Mac Cafe this morning. They're dark roast. And I just use 4 scoops full. On a really rough morning, I've not had a lot of sleep. I may throw an extra one in there, but most of the time 4. And boys and girls, that's how I make my coffee. I just bounce it around until it's all even in there and put the top on it. Put it in the water if it's already starting to get warm. Put my lid on it. I'm gonna go ahead and set my oven to preheat. 325 degrees. So whenever this coffee starts to perking, I will come back over here and set a timer for 8 minutes. So I'm going to get to the recipe and let's get to making this pumpkin pecan loaf. That's 2 cups of homemade self-rising flour, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. They were a little bit shy, so that's what I do. It's about 2 cups less 2 tablespoons, and then I replace the 2 tablespoons with 2 tablespoons of baking powder. There's no white sugar that goes in this. For sweetness, molasses and brown sugar. I'm going to get a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. There's about a 1/2 cup right there. Stir all this together, make sure she's mixed up good. clumps that way. See, there's some clumps of brown sugar there. So a good thing mixes up. Look at my coffee. I hear it's starting to roar over there. I'll get busy and forget about it, and it'll be boiling all over the place. Especially since I've not had my cup of coffee this morning. And there'll be a complete recipe under the description, if I remember to put it in there. There you go, so that ought to do that. Now for the wet ingredients. You gotta keep an eye on my coffee over there. So it gets 1 can of pumpkin puree, not pie filling, but pumpkin puree. And I've got a can of Libby's. I bought these on sale last year. They've got a good due date until this year, December. So the due date on this one has found its maker. I just bought some more the other day to replace this with. So need a 1/2 cup of molasses. I use Grandma's molasses, unsulfured. Take a peek at my coffee here. She sounds like she's getting close. So 1/2 cup. Well, that smells good. This makes wonderful pumpkin bread and apple sauce bread. Let me check my... There she goes, she's bubbling. Let me be right back with you. All right. I turned my coffee to it's about 3 on my stove, and so turned it down because it was on high, and I know that's what I turn it down to, because I make this about at least 6 days a week. Sometimes it'll splurge and go to Mickey Doodles. Alright, what else we got here? Got about 1/2 cup of applesauce. There's no oil in this because I use applesauce. Let's see here. That's close enough right there. I've got my recipe written down here. 1 can of pumpkin, 2 cups of self-rising flour, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of molasses, 1/2 cup of applesauce, and 3 eggs. I used to crack eggs, grab an egg with one hand and crack it and drop it into the pan, no problem, no shell, no nothing. Well, I tell you, but since I've developed this essential trimmers, it's been a little tougher on the old dude. All right, so a little bit of vanilla. Gonna use some Watkins vanilla and my mother's old Watkins measuring spoons. So 1 tablespoon, so I'm sorry, it's a half a tablespoon. I told you, see, I've not had my coffee, so you can tell. And because I like the flavor of it, I put just a dash, just a dash of cinnamon in it. This is completely optional. Yes or no, no problem. Let's see here. And that's as simple as they can get besides the pecans, and I won't put those in until the very end. I put them in right before I pour it into my loaf pan. And my spray that I use is Baker's Joy. I've had some problems with the Baker's Joy, not wanting to. It still have product left in the can, but it would be out of propellant. And I contacted them, and I'd had 2 cans do that, and they were gracious enough to just didn't have to have a receipt or anything. Said, "Hey, where'd you buy it from?" I told them Wally World. They sent 2 coupons for 2 large cans. I'm not even sure who owns Baker's Joy. I'm sure it's a big food conglomerate. And I've noticed on a website that I'm on that other people, when I posted that a couple months ago, that other people had had the same problem. You can see I'm not using a mixer on this or anything. Just about mixed here. Smells good. Just want to make sure you get all the dry ingredients. I see every once in a while it picks up something. All right. I'm going to go with about a cup of pecans. Let's see. There's about a third of a cup. Another third of a cup. Another third of a cup. I think 3/3 makes 1 cup if I'm thinking right at this time in the morning. Now you can coat these pecans in brown sugar and put them in at the last. Not cooked or anything, just roll them in brown sugar or flour. That'll kind of keep them from sinking to the bottom as it's cooking, but honestly it don't matter to me. It's all going to taste the same. It's just less sugar and less flour. Alright. You just want them all mixed up in there, and that's about it, boys and girls. Give me a pan over here. Wife was going to sleep last night, and I told her, I said, well, I'll have a surprise for you when you get up in the morning. She said, what time you getting up? I said, oh, maybe 4:15, I don't know, somewhere in there when I wake up. It's a good part about being retired. I don't have to set an alarm clock. And my internal alarm clock is set for me every day, just about 4 a.m. It's when it's quietest, when I've got energy. I mean, I am a heart patient, and I'm in heart failure. We've kind of slowed it down with some medication I take. I don't know if anybody else has had the unfortunate news of being in heart failure, but I am. And I'm just making the best of it, boys and girls. We ain't guaranteed no tomorrow. So while you're here, you better make people smile. Put a smile on somebody's face. Keep a smile on your face. And thank the Lord for all He's given you. Just tamp it down to make sure it's level. Just thank the Lord for every day. I mean, it's really a gift. You're really not guaranteed tomorrow. This is in October. I'm not sure when this video will come out. Maybe late October. October 20th last year, or 2 years ago. It's how many months? How many weeks? I think it's 2 weeks from now. I was driving to work one morning. Felt this little tinge. Got in my chest. Just I mean, for a second. And then it hit again. I was driving. We were on a big overpass, about 10 stories up, or 8 stories up, about 10 stories up, I think. There's 3 highways underneath. And wife said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." It was like 5:15 in the morning, and we were headed to work, and we both worked for a plastic surgeon. She worked inside, and I worked on the outside, kept everybody safe. They needed a position after there's a couple of guys came in and tried to rob the place. There was 3 guys tried to rob the place, and they did. They took TVs and everything off the wall while my wife was there one morning about 5:30 in the morning. So all the nurses, most of the nurses were female. I think they had one surgery tech that was a male, and of course the doctors, some part female or doctors and part male doctors. And anyway, after that little deal, the nurses were afraid to come in because this is in a building kind of on the outskirts of Plano, kind of right in no man's land. Let's put it like that. Not a good part of town, but now it's changed. It's grown up around it. And so they had a job opening for a 300-pound gorilla. I was self-employed. I had a landscaping company, and I knew I could do that 5 days a week. So I was hired. So anyway, we're cruising on down the highway, and after that, and she said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't know. It's just a weird feeling in my chest." I said, and I have a defibrillator that they put in me 4 years ago. 2 years before that happened. I'd never been kicked by it or started by it or anything. So they, I thought, well, maybe it's my Kickstarter trying to jump me up. I don't know. She said, when we get to office, we'll have one of the doctors look at you. You know, they are doctors. So we got a little closer, and he kind of did it again. And I told her, I said, you know, our cardiologist, which is a friend of ours, he always said if you have anything, if you feel like you need to, it's a feeling like you need to burp or something, and just anything in your chest, go to the hospital. Don't second guess it. So I did. And I said, we're going over there. So on the way, she called. We were headed towards the heart hospital anyway. We worked close to there. And she called a couple of people and said they were going to have to open up. We were headed to the heart hospital, and got to heart hospital and pulled up in the emergency room where the ambulances and everything go. She ran inside, and the guy come out in a wheelchair, and my wife was over there. She said, "Where can I park?" And I said, "Well, it says, you know, emergency parking right there." And he said, and the guy said, "Yeah, that's perfect right there." So I remember he helped me stand up. I was a little bit weak, got in a wheelchair, and I remember him turning me around, wheeling towards the doors. And boys and girls, I don't know anything for 2 weeks after that. Had some weird dreams and stuff. So I had went into VTech, which is a heart problem. One side of your heart doesn't really talk to the other side very good, and one side pumps, the other side doesn't, and I didn't know anything. I tell you, I was out. I remember asking the doctor when I woke up enough to understand where I was at if I'd had a stroke, because I couldn't move my legs, I couldn't hardly move my hands, and I sure couldn't hardly talk. Or, you know, don't laugh. I can't hardly talk now, but that's just me. And so He said, no, you went into ventricular, I can't say it, ventricular cardio something. I said, what the heck is that? He said, well, in layman's term, one side of your heart got pissed off at the other side and they stopped talking. I said, I got it. I understand. That's my layman terms. So, anyway, so in about 10 days, that's going to be 2 years since I come home from the hospital, or actually since I had my event. I didn't come home from the hospital and rehab until after Thanksgiving in December. So they sent me home in a wheelchair. Said, I was going to be in the rest of my life. I could take about 5 steps on a walker and I would just give out. So got me home in the wheelchair, and I finally, instead of going, I could wheel myself to the restroom, get up and walk in there. I had some handhelds to hold on to, and pretty soon I was going down the hall in my walker all the way, and pretty soon I was pushing the walker ahead about 3 or 4 or 5 feet and walking up to it. And then one afternoon we were watching TV, and my hospital bed was in our living room and kitchen. That's the only place it would fit, because they sent me home to sleep in a hospital bed with the rails and stuff. And I took and was sitting on the side of the bed, and we were watching something on TV. And I got up. I had been practicing walking without it, because I knew I could walk 5 or 6 feet without without the walker in front of me. And I walked over to our TV, which was about 10 foot. And the wife was reading something, and I said something to her, and then I walked back to the bed, and I said, did you see that? And she said, yeah, you went over to the TV. I said, yeah, but did you really see it? She said, what? I said, did you see me walk? No cane, no walker, no wheelchair? She says, oh my God. One of those things you can't see the forest for the trees. Well, she couldn't see it because, I don't know, she just didn't notice me doing that. Once she did, it was kind of tears for everybody. And so it wasn't long after that we bought our Christmas present for each other, which was an air fryer. She started using that in January. I made my way into the kitchen on the walker still. Started making coffee in the morning in my old percolator that's percolating over there, and decided I would cook and put some videos out. I had a YouTube channel, but it was just for family stuff and stuff I'd been saving for the kids to look at. And I started putting stuff on there, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and publish this stuff. And it was an easy name, A Country Boy Can Cook, because I am a country boy. So let me see if this coffee's about ready. I know the oven is. Yeah, it's just about ready. So let me get over there and put this bread in, this loaf pan, pumpkin bread in, and I'll be back with you in just 1 minute. Oh yeah, that's perfect timing. Like just a few seconds of going off, I killed it. I poured me a hot steaming cup, and I love the percolator coffee. I don't know if y'all make coffee like that or not. Boy, it's got a flavor that no other does. And since I'm not in a hurry anymore, I mean, we got a Ninja coffee bar, something, I don't know. That thing would always give me a hassle. Low water, low light, and, didn't shut the drawer in good enough. I don't know. I hate little hassles like that. The world's got a lot of other things to worry about, and I didn't want to worry about my coffee. This is so simple. It makes the same pot every morning. And I don't put any salt in the water or anything. Our water here in Louisville, Texas, or as I refer to it, to Louisville, USA, it's a little salty anyway. And it makes perfect coffee though. And it's not filtered water or anything. So let me have a sip of this and I'll bring y'all back in about, I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes, but I think it's gonna take about 45, but I always like to check it early. Oh, it's good, and it's good and hot. See y'all in about 30 minutes when this thing comes out. All right, let's shut this off and check it. See what it looks like. Oh, it's looking pretty. You get a hot pad. Well, let's pull this out so I can check it with a toothpick. Oh no, there's no way it's not. I can tell just by touching it. It's still soft, but it is looking pretty. We'll bring you back. I'm gonna set it for another 15 minutes. Right now it's been 35 minutes, so we'll check it at basically 50 minutes. See you back in a little bit. Pecan pumpkin bread baking away. 5:30 a.m. All right, let's check this. It's been about 50 minutes. It's 3 minutes shy, matter of fact. Oh yeah. Kind of feels like sound like a little watermelon sound. Let's try it right in the middle. Boy, just a little crumb. That's it, boys and girls. See if I can get this out without burning myself here. Oh, she's heavy. How's that look, boys and girls? She's a thing of beauty. Boy, she smells good. About 50 minutes time to bake. All right, she's beautiful. Oh yeah, it's gonna come out no problem. I can feel it shaking around in there. This was baked with no oil, no butter. I use applesauce for that. Get some parchment paper out here so we can undo this baby. See if I can do this without burning myself. Wish me luck. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Ain't that pretty? You know, you need to let it cool down before you take a bite. What do you think I'm gonna do? You don't think I'm gonna let it cool down before I take a bite? Heck no. Let's see here. Good strong knife here. I cook with memories. This was a saw blade that my dad had in our, I think it was in our barn when we bought that place in the 50s. And Dad was gonna make a knife out of it. He never did. I did. And in the 60s, took it on lots of deer hunts, camp outs. Boy, you can see the serrations on the side where it was a saw. I think it was a metal cutting blade. Anyway, I still use it today. And why do I use it? Because it's sharp, it's easy to sharp, and it keeps on cutting. Let's get a slice of this. Wife's gonna be surprised when she gets up. take this end piece right here. Yeah, it's smushed out a little bit because it's still warm. Come on, there you go. Really moist. Boy, it smells wonderful. You can see the moisture is so moist. Man, it's got a beautiful sheen to it. Pecan pumpkin bread. She's a thing of beauty. Smells really good, like you wouldn't believe. Smells super. So, you know, I need to test it just to make sure that it tastes good. We'll say bon appetit. Let's try this. It's still smoking pretty hot. If I burn my lips, it's worth it. Oh, it's good. That's very good. Goodness gracious, that's good. That's so good. Don't mind if I do. All right, boys and girls, it's all over but the crying now. It'll be cool by the time my wife gets up and she can have her some with her coffee, depending on her blood sugar. But I want to appreciate you being here for me, and me telling you about my heart and all that. And hey, I ain't asking for sympathy or anything. I'm just letting you know how the old dude rolls. How's that? So you know a little bit about my life. If you're new to the channel, you'll kind of understand why I walk slow and I talk slow, and how sometimes I get my words mixed up. I mean, I couldn't even hardly talk when I was in the hospital. So I'm going to try to do my favorite thing on my anniversary date, the 20th, which will be cheeseburgers. I don't know if I might do it live. I don't know. Just don't know. We'll see. So thank you very much for being here. Please subscribe. Helps my channel grow. Hit that notification button and share my videos. If you've got friends that like to cook, share it to them. That's so easy. If you're on Facebook, just share to Facebook, your group, or whoever you're with, and that gets me more viewership. Lets YouTube know that I'm out there. So anyway, thanks for being here. The old dude is out of here.